Hello, good morning, and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, and I am joined by my good buddy, Doug, and we are here to talk about Week 10 in the NFL. Doug, as we head into the second half of the season, we should start to see some teams really separate themselves, the contenders from the pretenders, and that's going to have us, not playing certain games and certain players and teams and all that. So we'll have to avoid those pitfalls when they come. But first of all, how are you doing on this Saturday morning, November 9th, 2024?
Well, pretty good, actually.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Ready to rebound in NBA. Last night was the first rough night, except for my Yahoo win.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was rough.
Yeah. Who was your main player on? I know we're NFL podcast, but we can talk a little bit about this. Who was your main guy that carried you on Yahoo? Because I didn't
Daniels? Dyson Daniels.
Jaden. Who was? Oh, Dyson
Jaden.
Daniels. Yeah.
And that's insane. I mean, I literally went over my Yahoo lineup and I saw value everywhere. Just clicked on value, clicked on value, clicked on value, and just played that lineup. And because the guys that I have in that lineup should not have been priced where they were. That's Yahoo for you.
Yeah.
And then Fanduel and DraftKings, the margin of profit and loss was extremely narrow. It was really rough. Like this slate, we're doing a better.
This slate here is going to be something else. Like we were just talking about, this is going to be probably the hardest slate of the year. So before we get into this, if you're new to the channel, if you would give us a like and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk in general, we would love to have you join our Discord. We have memberships that start as low as $4.99 a week. So we have a very positive and encouraging, very family-friendly Discord, and we're tight like a family in there. So there's not a whole lot of us at this point, but we're hoping to grow, obviously, and we would love to have you join us. So you can send us a DM on X at DFS Coach Talk, or you can email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com. So let's go ahead and get into this thing, Doug. Starting with a terrible game, most likely in Germany. The New York Giants taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Giants are a 6.5-point favorite. minus 280 on the money line, a low over under of 40.5, 42 degrees with the wind at just 3 miles an hour blowing to the north. Then we have the 1 p.m. Eastern slate, starting with the New England Patriots in Chicago taking on the Bears. The Bears are a 6-point favorite at home, minus 275 on the money line, and even lower over under at 38.5. 60 degrees with the wind blowing southwest at 15 miles an hour. So there's a small chance of rain at 26%, but this time of year, the wind can be really nasty in Chicago. So I wouldn't recommend playing any kickers from either side of this game. And then we have the Buffalo Bills in Indianapolis taking on the Colts. The Bills are a 4-point favorite on the road, minus 210 on the money line, with the over under of 46.5. We have your Minnesota Vikings in Jacksonville taking on the Jaguars. 6.5-point favorite Minnesota on the road, minus 315 on the money line, 43 over under, 33% chance of rain, 80 degrees with the wind blowing east-southeast at 14 miles an hour. We have the Denver Broncos in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 7.5-point favorite at home, minus 410 on the money line with the over under of 41.5. 58 degrees, wind blowing to the west at 10 miles an hour. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Falcons are a 3.5-point favorite on the road, minus 190 on the money line with a 46.5 over under. We have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Buccaneers in Tampa. The 49ers are a 6.5-point favorite on the road, minus 290 on the money line. Nice over under of 50.5. 85 degrees with the wind blowing east-southeast at 10 miles an hour. We have I guess this is going to be one of the games of the week. Who would have saw this coming? The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Washington Commanders in Washington. Washington is a 2.5-point favorite at home, minus 145 on the money line with a 45 over under. 36% chance of rain, 60 degrees with the wind blowing to the south at 10 miles an hour. We move to the 4 o'clock slate. 4:05, Tennessee Titans taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in LA. Chargers are a 7.5-point favorite at home, minus 360 on the money line with an over-under of 39. We have the New York Jets in Arizona taking on the Cardinals at 4:25 Eastern. The Jets are a 1.5-point favorite on the road, minus 125 on the money line with an over-under of 46.5. We have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite on the road, minus 350 on the money line with an over-under of 43.5. I'm sure this is the game that everyone was thinking was going to be, the game of the week, but Dallas has not played well, and without Dak Prescott, it's going to be Cooper Rush going for Dallas. So I think that game could get pretty ugly pretty quick. What do you think?
I don't know about that. You would imagine, but it's interdivisional.
True.
It's a divisional game, so I never trust those.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
We're probably right, but then again, it could be a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is no disrespect to Dak Prescott. It just kind of is what it is. I don't know that there's a huge drop off at quarterback. Honestly, I mean, we've seen Cooper Rush come in and do well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that game he played in Minnesota. Was that 3 years ago when he came in for Dak and he won in Minnesota?
Yeah, Dak had injured and he came on in and just carved up their own defense.
Yeah.
Mike Zimmer, by the way, was a coach in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's ancient. His coaching
he's
are
way
obsolete.
He's way outdated.
His coaching methods are obsolete, and you can see that in Dallas.
For sure. Then we have a decent game Sunday night. The Detroit Lions taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. Detroit's a 3.5-point favorite on the road, minus 190 on the money line, over under a 49. Monday night game, we have the Miami Dolphins in Los Angeles taking on the Rams. The Rams are a 1-point favorite at home, minus 115 on the money line with an over under of 50. Kind of feels to me like the Rams should be a bigger favorite than just 1 point. The Dolphins coming in at 2-6. I feel like the Rams have been playing pretty well, especially since they got Nakua and Cup back. But that's the look at the slate. Anything in particular that stands out to you before we look at our top plays?
No, that's the problem.
That's the feeling on the slate in general.
I mean, serious. There's no one game. There's like it's per player. So
yeah, for sure.
This week
and that takes us right into our top plays, starting at quarterback. I was looking at Brock Purdy, but with Christian McCaffrey coming back, if you look at his numbers, Brock Purdy's numbers when McCaffrey was playing, they weren't that great. So McCaffrey takes a lot of those those red zone opportunities away, especially once he gets to the goal line. So if McCaffrey gets 2 or 3 touchdowns, then it's going to be tough for Purdy to really hit value. Especially on Fanduel where he's 8,100. So I'm looking a little bit deeper. I think Sam Darnold is one option. I believe Jacksonville has allowed the most, if not the most, one of the most fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks this year. And
31st. Yep.
Yeah, second to most. So yeah, he's definitely on my radar. Not a lot of.
No, they are 32nd. Sorry, okay, Jacksonville's 32nd.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yep. I thought I had it here in my notes, but I guess not.
Did you know Tampa Bay's 31st?
Yes. Tampa Bay. I did have that here that they have allowed the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks. So I do like Brock Purdy if you have the salary. I really found it hard to be able to have the salary to pay up at quarterback this week. It's just the lineup construction in general is really tough. So hopefully that's what we're here to help people solve. And Sam Darnold would be one option. I kind of like Justin Herbert. I know it's not a great matchup on paper, but I feel like he's been playing pretty well. And I think Tennessee's defense is a little bit skewed because of the way some of their games have gone. And I think that they're not as good as they seem on paper to me. So I think Herbert could have a decent game, and he's cheaper than most of these other quarterbacks. So where did you find quarterback that you liked, and did you find any value that you liked?
I broke down. After a few ones I like actually crash. A Nugget Mahomes will for
Mhm.
114 passer rating to Hopkins. I'm not saying play Mahomes, but Hopkins will be probably the highest owned receiver in the slate. We'll get to
Yeah,
that later.
I think so too.
So I looked at him. I think he could either pay up at quarterback. I'm looking at Cousins, Rogers, those two in particular, especially Rogers,
Hmm.
and because Arizona likes to blitz a lot, and
True. That's true.
Rogers will get that ball out, and you know where that ball is going to right away.
Hmm.
To the two receivers right away. And so I think a lot of people are going to be playing Grease Hall at running back. It'll be a more of a chalkier running back.
Yeah.
And I think look out for the quick pass instead. And that's going to get Brees Hall's numbers down.
Yeah. I think a lot of slants to Devontae and Garrett Wilson. Yeah. I could
Yeah. And
definitely see.
then and the other one I would keep an eye out on that we haven't mentioned yet or talked on this. Gonna mention one more. Derek Carr is going to go down cheap.
Okay.
He's going up against Atlanta. They're very friendly against the pass.
Okay. Is Olave?
Especially across the middle. Olave or Kamara. And Kamara, I think Kamara may have a huge Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely trying to get him in my lineups
He
as much as possible.
He's had like 5 receptions in the last 3 games, or at least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you add that up along with 100 plus rushing yards.
Hmm.
You know, he's gonna get in the end zone. I mean, he's really like another receiver. It's like a McCaffrey, but healthy.
True. True. Very true. That'll take us over to running back. I like DeAndre Swift again. I know he kind of had a so-so game last week against the Cardinals, but 6,500 on DraftKings, 7,700 on Fanduel, $31 on Yahoo. Going up against the Patriots, they have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to running backs this year. And before last week, he had a 4-game streak of 20-plus DraftKings points, and I think he'll get back to that this week against the Bears. Against the Patriots. The Bears should be ahead most of this game, I would think. And so I think Swift will get a lot of carries. And like I said, it's going to be a little windy, so that should help too with them favoring the ground game. And so I do like DeAndre Swift. Value, I really don't know what I would like as far as value goes. Thought about maybe Rachaad White. He's gotten the end zone a few times lately.
Sure.
Against San Francisco, I think. And then you could look at Ramondre Stevenson on the other side of this game, but I'm not sure I want to go there because, like I said, I think New England's going to be behind most of this game. So I'm not sure how many carries he'll get.
Yeah, that's
the board. Austin Eckler is going to be starting because Brian Robinson's out again, but I don't think he's going to do that well against the Steelers' run defense. It's pretty tough. So, yeah, running back. I found running back to be one of the hardest positions to choose this week, which lately it's been, to me, one of the easiest. So,
with Eckler, real quick, they already priced them up on the sites to start, so you're not getting any value there. Look at the backups.
Yeah.
Like Nichols, for
McNichols.
example. You get a little discount there. You can go that way if you're really desperate for value. DraftKings, they got some ridiculous prices out there for running back. But Fanduel, you don't got that. Aaron Jones is 6,700 on DraftKings. Swift 65. Yep. Swift is 65. And then you go down to get Kareem Hunt at 6,600. Najee Harris at 6,200. Eckler's at 58. He's sort of okay, but you just keep going down and down. And DraftKings, you get paid down definitely at running back. FanDuel, you're not. Yeah, I don't see much value in FanDuel at all this week. Eckler would be probably your best at FanDuel at night. Like you said, I don't think he's going to run for 100 plus yards or anything. And you already mentioned the guys like Aaron Jones level, play him.
I like the Aaron Jones play. Wide receiver, I do like Brian Thomas, but I don't know if he's going to play. Looks like he's going to be questionable and probably a game time decision. So I'm feeling like he's going to be out. So I'm going to go back to Darnell Mooney. I think this might be the third week in a row that I've gone to Darnell Mooney, but he's been.
Look at this price on Fanduel.
His price on Fanduel.
Sticker shock.
No, 7,500. Okay. Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah. Look at the price. Brian Thomas, 7,300.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are definitely getting their prices jacked up on some of these sites. But yeah, I think Mooney, I believe Drake London's questionable last time I checked. So we're not sure.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll play or not. I'm leaning towards he probably won't.
I don't know if he will or not, but as most people know, Marshawn Lattimore was traded last week to Washington, so I think that he'll have a good matchup. And the Saints they've been in the bottom half of the league when it comes to fantasy points allowed to wide receivers, and that's with Lattimore there. So with him gone, that should continue. To go up. They should be even higher up in those rankings as far as the most fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. So Mooney was targeted 9 times last week against Dallas. He had 5 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown for 19.8 DraftKings points. Pretty good chemistry is developing between him and Cousins. So I do like Mooney. For value, I like Quentin Johnston with Justin Herbert, especially if you play both of those. He had his best game since week 2 last week. He was targeted 5 times and had 4 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown for 25 DraftKings points. So he's still pretty cheap on all 3 sites. So I do like Quentin Johnston as a value play. And that's about it for me at wide receiver. Like we said, this is a pretty tough league.
Yeah, we're kind of being very redundant. Pay up. If you're not doing Aaron Jones, then you do Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
One of the two is going to have 2 touchdowns this week. Who else? Moody, no Lattimore. Say no more. They don't have anybody to stop Moody.
Yeah.
You have to double team him. If London's in, I like them both. You can choose one or the other.
Okay.
Sutton's had over 100 yards receiving in his last 3 games. They got to throw somebody this week, and you probably see over 10 targets.
Okay.
They're going to be behind, obviously, most likely.
Yeah.
Denver is going to be. And then DeAndre Hopkins is probably him and McConkey are probably the 2 going to value out the most and probably be the most owned in this slate. Because of like 6,000, 6,200 in that area. Yeah, 6,300 for McConkey. And then Pittman's out for Indianapolis. So Josh Downs would be the guy I'd look at.
Okay. Yeah, I like that call. Yeah, Mahomes against Denver, it was always a thing whenever Justin Simmons was playing. So I think with him in Atlanta, he could have a better day than he's had in recent matchups with Denver, because he's honestly kind of struggled against Denver in their recent matchups. So
the defense is more challenging for him.
Yeah.
They have a very good defense. They don't have to blitz against the quarterback. That makes it very challenging. But this week, the Chiefs' offensive line is extremely good. So and then this receiver is so crucial. I just want to touch on a couple more places here. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr. at $6,800. He's finally going down in price. Joanne Jennings is $5,800 for 49ers.
Yeah.
Ayuk out. I know that McCaffrey's coming back, but he's not going to play every down.
Right.
And I think that Jennings is a good price.
He'll probably have pretty heavy snap restriction, I would think, coming back from the first game. And has it been like 8 weeks, something like that? It's been a while since McCaffrey played.
This was week 10, and this will be his first week. And then a couple more drops, and then this other guys I'll mention, Ridley, $5,800 on FanDuel. And I do like him, by the way. He had over 100 plus yards last week. And
Yeah, I
then
like
clear, secure if you want to have on a receiver on the Bills. I like Kimmer Kincaid to get them a tight end. He's my tight end.
Yeah, is Keon out? Is Keon Coleman out, or is he still questionable?
I don't know the answer to that. I was looking for that this morning. I did not find that yet.
Yeah, I think he's listed as questionable. Let me see.
But he is questionable, yes.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper's questionable too, so that would really boost Shakir for me.
Yeah, his numbers will go flying to the roof then. And
Mm-hmm.
then Josh loves the intermediate passes.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be great for either Kincaid. That'd be great for Kincaid. Not
Yeah,
so much for Shakir. So that might drop his value a little bit because he's more of a deep threat.
that's true. That is true. Yeah, Kincaid
Yeah.
could be a really good play.
So
Which is a
maybe
good
I'm
segue.
gonna walk back on that.
Okay, it's a good
On
segue
that
to,
one.
to tight end because that's our next position. So I do like George Kittle on DraftKings. It's probably the only site I'm going to play him where he's only 5,800. I think that's a decent price. He's like
I know.
8,000 on Fanduel. That's just too much for me.
Oh,
And then on Fanduel and Yahoo, I like Cole Kmet. I think that he's struggled the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really been targeted, but I think that they're going to try and get that connection between him and Caleb Williams going again. They're playing pretty well there for a few weeks, and their offense was looking a lot better. And then they went away from him, and then their offense struggled. So hopefully they're smart enough to figure out that they need to get Cole Kmet involved. And, it's always a good idea to rely on a good tight end like that. So to get your offense going. So I like Cole Kmet a lot this week against the Pats. And that's about it, honestly, for me. It's just, again, this week is challenging at every front. So
here I am again. Love tight end. Save money, tight end. Yeah, Kincaid 6,000. That's not a bad value at all.
yeah, I like that Kincaid call.
Taysom Hill 6,300. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my flex is probably going to be a tight end.
Okay.
Just a pay down, hope someone flops in the end zone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got Kincaid 28, Buffalo or Indianapolis 28th against the tight ends.
Yeah.
Sure, Kittle's 30th. He's 30th. Tempe is against the pass against tight ends.
Right.
I mean that DraftKings is like DraftKings has some really weak scoring some weeks. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
If you want a piece of the Minnesota offense this week, you've got Hawkinson at 6,500.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't play any of the other Vikings, we have not touched yet on Detroit game, but Laporta 5,800. There's a lot of guys out there I think that could do pretty good this week.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, obviously that's FanDuel only, but on FanDuel, yeah, Laporta's definitely in play. And I don't know who's going to play for the Texans at wide receiver, but I think whichever one does between.
They have the big two are starting.
They both
they're still
are?
missing number what?
They both are?
Yeah, they have the two main ones are, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Nico was going to be back. I knew Diggs is out, and I think Tank Dell should be able to play. I think he's listed as questionable.
I just read that. Hang on a second. We'll go back to NFL here. Just read that. Yeah, so Dell's announced on Friday. Just get so many statistics here.
Mm-hmm.
Brain in one day.
But I think that Detroit, they could be playing with a lead early like they usually do. Mm-hmm. And I think the Texans will probably throw quite a bit. I mean, it's hard to run on Detroit too. So I don't know how much Jackson will be involved. So, yeah, I think the receivers definitely for Houston are going to be in play.
Yeah, I agree. And Nick said he's got two good receivers this week. I just don't remember which one's injured right now. And then looking at
it's Dell and Collins that are injured, and Collins is just coming back from his injury. But
yeah, they had 10 days off, so
he did practice Friday. So yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go to our picks of the week. I like the Chargers over the Titans as my lock of the week. And for my upset, just like I did last week, I'm going to take Houston to cover against Detroit. I think Detroit will win a close game, maybe 2 to 3 points, but I'll take Houston at 3.5 to cover that spread.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of games that the spread's pretty interesting. I'm actually gonna have Tampa Bay cover the spread against San Fran. They're what, 6.5 point favorites? Or what do you have for San
Is
Fran?
that right? 6.5? I think that's right.
Yeah, but actually I'm gonna go to Minnesota instead. They're 6.5.
For your lock?
Oh yeah, Minnesota's gonna beat them by more than 6.5.
Yeah.
And I don't think that well, and not an upset, but I think Denver's gonna cover the spread too.
Okay. So Denver's a 7.5 point underdog. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're getting 7.5. Yeah. I mean, that's just like last week. I took Tampa Bay at 9.5 or whatever they were. It was pretty ridiculous. Let's see.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week this week. And
yeah,
you've been watching the Jets Arizona line.
No, I haven't.
That's been going back and forth all week. Start the week, Arizona was a favorite, and now they're what, 1.5 point underdogs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's an interesting line to me that the Jets are favored on the road.
And I got my upset. We'll go to that whenever you're ready.
Yep, we're ready. Go ahead.
Pittsburgh.
Okay, so you're going to take Pittsburgh straight up, and you're taking Denver
straight up over. Yep, they'll win.
Okay, I like that call actually. All right, that'll take us to our prize picks plays of the week, and I have DeAndre Swift more than 14.5 fantasy score. Like I said before, last week he had over 20 fantasy points in 4 straight games, and I think he gets back to close to that number over it this week. I like Darnell Mooney more than 11.5 fantasy score. Cole Kmet more than 6 fantasy score. All he needs is a touchdown, or he can get there with 30 yards and 3 or 4 receptions, whatever the case may be there. And then you have a Goblin at 69.5 receiving yards for Justin Jefferson. I definitely like that play. So those are the 4 plays we'll go ahead and give out on the podcast. And with that being said, we will do our 2 brains are better than 1 lineup on Fanduel. Actually, we've got a couple visitors here, so let's take a look at the chat. Brandon Katz, is this your first time on the podcast?
Yeah. Like he brought up points, and I would read about it as well.
Yeah, looks like he might be a Lions fan, I think.
His first time.
This is his first
Brandon.
time. Hey, awesome, Brandon. If you would hit us up on X or Twitter at DFS Coach Talk, send us a DM, and we will get you in our Discord for this week. You'll get a week free. Check us out, see what you think, and we'll look forward to having you join us.
I'm a better.
Hey,
there
cool.
you go.
I'm not a Lions fan, but you are a better. I got you. What's your favorite team?
And I do agree. I think Detroit's going to run right at them against Houston. Because Houston's got a really good pass defense.
Yeah.
But if Will Anderson's out, like he's probably going to be out, then that defensive line goes from above average to well below average.
Yeah, I think all these points are good. He says Detroit's pass defense is bad. They've played mostly weak offenses, and Love was not healthy. Yep. Obviously, Love was not healthy last week. Houston's decimated with injuries. That's also true. Will Anderson's likely going to be out. Yeah. Yes, I saw that. And their offensive line should dominate Houston up front if Anderson's out. Yeah, I agree with all those. That's good points.
Yeah. Totally agree. And that's something else on as well. So that's good. Not the only one out there. And like I said, the more information like in our community that we share with each other, the more we're going to win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I always love more information.
Yeah.
I might get information overload some weeks, like this morning. I had that a little earlier.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate you sharing that information, Doug. And I need to do better with that with NFL and NBA because I know I share a lot during Major League Baseball season, but I need to do more on NBA and NFL.
We always do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely Twitter. Get a week for look at it for a week. I mean, for what we put out there and what we charge is an extreme
Oh,
value.
I know it's pretty remarkable value. It is. I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyways,
$4.99 a week, especially in this economy, that won't get you anything.
yeah.
So,
Even if you get one player never thought about the entire week, say in NBA, that could
yeah,
be different to you making $1, making a lot more.
right.
That's how I look at it. More information, the better. Good information. Good information. You want to do our two brains?
Well, yeah, let's do our two brains. I'm still waiting to see who his favorite team is. He may not have one if he's just a sports bettor and doesn't really pay attention to that side of the sport, which is great. I mean, that's worried about sports betting too. So let's see what we can come up with. Anywhere you look at quarterback that you like on Fanduel? I know Fanduel is pretty tough pricing.
Yeah, this is my week to choose too.
Actually, I'm not able to access my app right now. Are you having trouble with that?
No.
Might have to go to their website, and see if I can get in that way.
Yeah. Before I could do quarterback, we could go chalky or not chalky. Let's see here. Let's have a little fun today, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can do Aaron Rodgers. 7,100 at quarterback.
Gonna go with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, 7,100. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I got in with the website, but I couldn't get in with the
Yeah.
app for some reason.
Welcome to a wonderful world of technology.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. And then, if London is out, it's going to be the number 2, you think, in Atlanta this week. Just looking for me.
London's out. You think Kadero Hodge maybe?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I like BJ Robinson a lot, running back too. Friends mention him. And Taylor, he runs the outside of Indianapolis, keeps it close.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's gonna have a huge game, but for his price, he's not gonna. If you want, I could try helping you out, but
well, let me
get
Aaron Rodgers in here at quarterback first.
Yeah, 7,100.
Mm-hmm. And then
that's probably the highest he's been all year.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I don't need to research that.
Okay.
It's gonna go on and tweet right out the right over today.
Well, we talked a lot about Kamara, so let's see what we can do with him.
Love Kamara, yeah. He's one of the best pickup options, I think.
8,500. Okay.
I got Rodgers as like third best value, just to let you know.
Okay.
I got Kamara at 8,500. He is the top value at 85. That is crazy. Yeah, 8,500 guy compete out a little bit on next running back. And we both like DeAndre Swift. So why don't he's 7,700? No one we mentioned, but I think go just a little cheaper. Go Harris. He's had 100 yards rushing in the last 3 games and a touchdown, and he's at 7,100.
Yeah, I thought about using him. He's been playing well lately. think Washington's been what, the 21st, I think, against the run, something like that.
They're in the middle, 14th.
14th. Okay.
It doesn't matter. Tomlin's gonna run the ball in the barrel.
True. That's true. I'll
You
go
know,
ahead. Well, go ahead. What are you saying?
Yeah, he really is. That's just who he is. That's the way he plays football.
I'll go ahead and put Kometa in at tight end. And we got
Yeah.
three receivers.
You really like Komet. You know, Williams, I've said this in the old podcast. He doesn't even look at Komet. He looked at him twice the past game. I have Komet in my Dynasty Fantasy, and I watch the Bears game every Sunday because my family are Bears fans.
Mhm.
And he looked twice in this direction. Now, it doesn't even mean there are other receivers that might have been there. But twice in one game. And that's who we're going with at tight end.
I know it's contrarian. I just think that, like I said, the Bears offense was playing pretty well when they were using Komet more. And I just have a feeling they're going to go back to him. So
those are reasons I don't like him. I'll give you the reasons I do like him. He's cheap.
Yeah.
And when Williams is at home, Bears quarterback, he's a different quarterback. And it's windy out.
True.
So you got bad weather. He will probably, hopefully, look at Komet this week.
You would think.
And he's 5,200. I like to play Josh. It's just, I hope he goes through with it.
Right.
So I would get that in there. Yeah. You surprised me at tight end. And to get contrarian this week, all you have to do is not play Hopkins.
True. Yeah, I think if we want to go with, man, at some point, Xavier Worthy's going to have a breakout game, and I think if you want to get contrarian, I think you could definitely look at him.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that. That's just it. Oh, I'm sorry to do it. Yeah. I'm taking all these out the lights are down in Fanduel. Why don't here?
Problem is 6,900. I mean, he's playing lately at more like a, low 6, high 5 level.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch him. I'm gonna do Aaron Jones in the flex, by the way.
Okay. You said he's 67.
Aaron Jones? Oh, he's more than that.
Oh, that was on DraftKings, I think. Never mind. Yeah, 79.
79. I'm gonna hold off on that call.
Okay.
For now, because we do double tight end yet. We'll see here. I think we'll do double tight end. I'm gonna go Kincaid. He's at 6,000.
You're gonna go double tight end with Kincaid in the flex.
Yep.
Okay.
That leaves us some good one-hit receiver.
Yeah.
And that is contrarian.
For sure.
Not a bad contrarian. These are good value we're playing right now.
Yeah. Let me see what only 300 difference. What do you think, Devontae or Garrett for pairing up with Aaron?
What's the price difference?
7,900 and 7,600 for Devontae.
Wilson's been getting more fantasy points. But with the ball coming out, it'll be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Like I said, I think this is a game where Devontae should be targeted more.
Yeah, I think so too. That's what I was leaning with Devontae. All right.
Or that's put Devontae in. Now, projections are with Wilson at, I got him at 0.8.
Yeah.
Difference.
It's
Wilson more.
Close, but I'm pretty sure Wilson will have more ownership. So
Right. And the thing is if Aaron Rodgers gets enough time to get the ball out, he can be very dangerous this weekend.
mm-hmm.
Who's got here? There's two Mooney.
Okay. He's right below Devontae at 75. Okay,
Yeah.
then we go defense.
You can get little bargains here.
Yeah, I think let's see. Detroit, maybe?
Yeah, with me, I don't mind Detroit if Smith is there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes a little bit of difference to me. Definitely.
Like
You can put them
Pittsburgh.
in for now.
You like Pittsburgh's defense? I
Against a
know
rookie.
it's a tough matchup. I know that, but
Well, Tomlin's like 27 or 28-5 against rookie quarterbacks. I don't know what he is for fantasy players. I'd
Mhm.
rather go with your initial choice.
With Detroit,
Imagine
4,000 feels like a value to me.
for Detroit defense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch Detroit's defense.
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, to me, it's either maybe Atlanta.
Atlanta. No, I like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's fine. Or
Okay.
go San Fran. Personally, I would go with San Fran.
Yeah, I think
Over Atlanta.
San Francisco too.
Yeah.
You
Or
got
Baker.
the Bills. What do you think about the Bills against the Colts?
I think that has a better chance. That is a much better chance, actually, of
You
being
like the Bills
successful.
more?
Oh, the best defense in football right now is the Chiefs.
Yeah,
They're
true.
100 less.
Yeah.
I say we do that.
Let's go with the Chiefs. 4,500. That leaves us with 66. You should be able to find a receiver at 66 for sure.
Yeah. We could have gone higher and got a good receiver. Oh.
You want to go with Minnesota?
At 66?
No, I'm talking about Minnesota at defense. Do you want to go with Minnesota at defense?
Are they going to score the most points?
I mean, it's hard to know.
Yes.
I
Allow
mean, I
Minnesota.
think the Bears could score the most points too.
Yeah.
Or the Chargers against Will Levis.
I know, but Matt Jones is starting for Jacksonville Jaguars, and Matt Jones is really good when there's not a pass rush.
Yeah.
So
you think the Bears?
well, I think the Vikings will get home. I think I don't know how the Bears are going to play with the new coaching. That's just it.
Okay.
They may lose the game.
Yeah, they may.
That worries me. But I'd rather go with Minnesota or Los Angeles Chargers.
Let's go with the Chargers. Will Levis is awful.
Yeah, they're the 32nd ranked
offense
right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like Ridley. A lot of people are looking at.
Can you get to Ridley? No, you can't.
No. But you look at receiver, we got Jameson Williams, we got McConkey, we've got Khalil Shakir, which I kind of am fading a little bit now. Keenan Coleman is out for Buffalo. That does make you like him a little better. Like, we already have Kincaid.
Ridley's 5,800. You can get to Ridley.
Who is?
Ridley.
Yeah. We could play Ridley.
But I don't know about playing Ridley in the Chargers. We might have to switch up our defense.
That's not a big deal, though, is it? No.
No.
Or we could do DeAndre Hopkins at 6,000. He does grade out as the value, the best value got at McConkey. And then I've got Justin Jefferson as the second highest value play this week.
Okay. Well, McConkey.
Josh Downs I have at 4th.
Yeah.
Just looking. Khalil Shakir is 7th now. Hopkins is 9th or 10th.
McConkey 6,300.
Yeah, he's right at the top. What's he different points? So he's at 12.4. I got him at 12.6.
If we take him, we'll have 300 left over, so we're not at zero.
Yeah, I'm not worried about $300 one way or the other. So I don't if Will Levis, I don't trust him throwing it even to Ridley.
Yeah.
So we could do Jameson Williams, McConkey, Shakir, or we could go down.
Yeah, I just don't know about
Hopkins.
Jameson Williams. It's like he either goes off or he doesn't really do much of anything.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. And the only guy I like is Jawan Jennings for 49ers. I think he'll be overlooked this week.
Okay. We can do him. He's what, D800?
Yep. And if you want, we could even pay up at running back for Harris's.
7,600. Let's see what that gets us. I don't mind leaving money on the table either, but yeah, let's go. We got Chargers defense. Let's go J.K. Dobbins.
That's fine for me.
Okay.
Like it a lot.
All right.
Either one's going to do well.
Who's that?
No, Dobbins and Harris are both going to do well. I have more confidence in Dobbins.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we got Aaron Rodgers, Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, Zavonte Adams, Darnell Mooney, Jawan Jennings, Cole Kmet, Dalton Kincaid, and the Los Angeles Chargers defense. We got double tight end, and we've got pretty low on wide receivers. I don't think Dobbins will get that high ownership at running back either. We got a low on quarterback too, probably. So this will definitely be a contrarian lineup. So I like it.
But it's value.
Yeah, there's a lot of value. I agree. All right.
And to get $300, we don't like someone injured. Someone can move someone around. That's fine.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Well, go ahead and put that lineup on your FanDuel contest, and we will be back next week. We're probably going to be moving our podcast to Saturday, more on a permanent basis, at least until Major League Baseball starts. But hope everybody has enjoyed the show. Doug, do you have any last-minute thoughts before we get out of here?
We did play anybody from Detroit or Houston. Don't forget about them. I think Barkley will be possibly the slate breaker this week.
Saquon Barkley?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Dallas's run defense is awful, so I could definitely see that.
Yep.
Well, hope everybody enjoyed this show, and we'll be back again next week as we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Have a great weekend. Thank you.